How's it going, everybody? I'm the EP293 Reaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether prices going up or down. NatWest customers debanked for crypto trading amid Nigel Farage row. It isn't just the polarizing British political figure Nigel Farage who's been debanked by NatWest. A former customer of the UK bank claims to have had their account closed for crypto trading. Decrypt spoke to one member of the NatWest Close Down My Account Facebook group. A former NatWest customer who preferred to remain anonymous shared documentary evidence with Decrypt revealing that their NatWest account was closed down because of cryptocurrency trading. The bank added that it isn't required to disclose any specific reasons behind the account closure. NatWest had earlier blocked the customer's account following a dispute relating to a peer-to-peer crypto trade. The customer lodged an appeal relating to this account block with the Financial Ombudsman Service, who ruled in the complainant's favor. The verdict was shared with Decrypt, and they wrote that at this time, NatWest hadn't provided any sufficient time for me to conclude that the account was blocked fairly. I believe NatWest should pay an 8% simple interest on the balance held for this period and £100 for the distress and inconvenience caused as fair compensation. Decrypt has verified the existence of the case. In March 2023, NatWest imposed restrictions on customers making payments to crypto exchanges, limiting them to £1,000 per day and £5,000 over a 30-day period, joining UK banks including Nationwide and HSBC. Stablecoin bill signed, House Financial Service Chair blames the White House. House Republicans are still trying to push ahead with a bill to regulate stablecoins and their issuers after hitting a snag in the form of sharp criticisms of the bill by Democrats, who see the bill as too favorable for the crypto industry. A bipartisan deal was within reach, said McHenry. It was the White House's unwillingness to compromise that has once again brought negotiations to a halt. McHenry did not specify which specific provisions were the points of disagreement with President Joe Biden's administration, but insisted that negotiations were ongoing in the prior evening. Maxine Walters called the bill deeply problematic over what she said was a lack of meaningful oversight for stablecoin issuers, adding that the key regulators like the Federal Reserve and Treasury Department did not support the bill. The concerns were particularly around the sections that she said failed to provide clarity on the reserves supporting stablecoins pegged to the US dollar. FedEx judge to jail Sam Bankman-Fried after falling crypto cane leaks ex-girlfriend's Google Doc diary. So, on Wednesday, the judge asked for his bail to be revoked after he leaked the diary. That's pretty much what the first section says. Bankman-Fried was ordered to appear in Manhattan federal court from Palo Alto, California, days after prosecutors accused him of witness tampering by leaking excerpts of Caroline Ellison's personal Google Docs notes to the New York Times. Sasson said that notes at a condition short of detention would satisfy the prosecution's concerns that Bankman-Fried will jeopardize their case before the October trial. So they are basically saying they want him put in jail so he can't tamper with the case. Over on our total, we are again an indecision candle. We tried to break out bullishly of this descending wedge. So we tried to get our breakout and we got rejected. We got rejected by this resistance. If we push away and break down under, that would push in a more bearish area, as that would be a pattern rejection. So that bearish area could mean we could see the total and these altcoins take a little bit of a breather. You could see Bitcoin dominance kind of jump back up afterwards. RSI is trying to head up, stochastic's trying to get a bullish cross. Our momentum wants to make a curl here. Our VWAP is going toward that neutral and wants to break through, so we'll have to see if it can gain some strength. But our money flow is coming in the bearish territory and wants to break into that bearish zone. So just watch out if that starts to continue, because that could mean we could see that break down. So you can see now it's green. We do have a lot of indecision, still a little time for it to close. Over on Bitcoin dominance, we are kind of getting underneath this flag. I'm going to move this down just slightly. There we go. RSI is overall sliding. Stochastic wants to make a bullish cross, but it's not really gaining much strength here, so we could see it push away. Momentum is starting to kind of reject away as our VWAP is in the bearish territory. and our money flow overall is pushing down and getting close to that neutral, so it could break in the bearish territory and give us a bearish trend on the daily. Over on futures, we did make a little bit of a push to our support resistance area, and we got rejected, so we did have that gap that I warned that we would probably see drop down, and that is what happened. RSI is starting to push away, stochastic is starting to push away, our money flow is rejecting away from the neutral and in the bearish territory. Our momentum does want to get a push up, but our VWAP is struggling to cross that neutral, so if our VWAP pushes under, our momentum's likely going to get a red dot and push back away. Real quick, if you haven't already, like this video and subscribe to the channel, as well as visit our Discord link and Reaper Paraco merch link so you can get 10% off their good merch. They also have stickers and some other cool stuff as well. Overall, we are starting to come back down toward our point of control. RSI is starting to curl away, stochastic wants to make a bullish crosswalk to see if that can happen and gain some strength. Our money flow is pushing in the bearish territory, and our VWAP is starting to round away from that neutral and push back into the bearish territory, so keep an eye on that as that could push our momentum back down. Over on the 4 hour, we do have a manipulation X here that is pushing us away from this support resistance. Stochastic is falling, RSI wants to make a bounce up, our momentum is curling down pretty harsh as our VWAP fell very strong, our money flow is coming out, so overall we're more bearish leaning than bullish. Over on the 2 hour, you can see that manipulation carried over from the 2 hour. Money flow is trying to break through that neutral, but we tried several times and we haven't maintained any strong bullish momentum. It's been mostly bearish momentum. So as that continues, we could get another push down. Stochastic wants to get a bullish cross, but if that doesn't get much weight and push above that neutral, this RSI could round off and push lower. Our momentum is coming out and our VWAP does want to recover, but it is starting to kind of taper away, so just watch out, as if it tapers away here, we will get a red dot on the momentum and see lower momentum waves. Over on the 1 hour, we are kind of in an up channel, so that's not very good, as an up channel could push us lower. Our RSI is overall pushing away, stochastic wants to run up, our VWAP is rolling away, our money flow is in the bearish territory and pushing down. It was in the bullish territory. We did get some new local highs, but now we're rejecting away, so they played more like a double top. Our momentum wants to come up, but if our VWAP rejects here, our momentum's probably going to get a red dot and reject away as well. Over on graph for the daily, we are trying to get a little bit of a push up. Nothing too major. Let's zoom out for that Fibonacci or the volume profile real quick. So we are coming up toward our point of control, but we kind of got rejected from that area. If we aren't able to break through this point of control, then our next stop would most likely be the value area low here. Money flow has broken in the bearish territory, VWAP is heading up but starting to taper off. Our stochastic wants to make a bullish cross, and our RSI is in the bullish territory, but overall sliding. Our momentum wave is trying to curl up, but if our VWAP pushes away, our momentum is going to do the same. Over on the 4 hour here, you can see we rejected this Fibonacci area several times, right around here, and back there. So we could see an overall like Bart Simpson, where you get that zigzag, kind of like his hair. Stochastics, and then you fall. Stochastic's starting to fall down, RSI is starting to fall down, momentum's coming down with the red dot. VWAP is in the bearish territory and pushing down. Our money flow is rejecting away from that neutral and gaining more strength to the bearish side, so we could see a rejection here. This could be a little bit of a rounding top that could drop us down. You might be asking what happened to the cup and handle for Bitcoin. We did have that. We got the cup. We almost went for the handle, but then we just dumped. So the handle broke, and that's why we didn't get that play out. Our stochastic is falling, RSI is falling, momentum is coming down, our VWAP is falling into the bearish territory, but is trying to recover, so our momentum might be able to get a green dot and push back up. Our money flow is in the bearish territory. We are getting new higher lows, so that is good for us, as that could make a bullish channel for us to push higher. We are getting a manipulation XO that wants to bring us down, so keep an eye on that. Over on the 1 hour, we are overall trying to form a new uptrend, not an up channel currently, so that's alright. RSI is pushing away, stochastic wants to run up. Our VWAP is starting to come back down, so just watch out as if that VWAP breaks bearish, our momentum's going to get a red dot and carry more into the bearish territory, instead of getting this green dot to help curl it up. Our money flow is overall getting new lows on the last few candles, so we are seeing a bit of a descending channel. So we could get a downtrend here. If we keep that downtrend, then we could invalidate that uptrend on the 2 hour and just push away. Over on Anchor, we do have this wedge still, so we're still inside this pattern. We are pushing lower, RSI is pushing away, stochastic wants to get a bullish cross, but we're not quite in the bullish environment yet, so our RSI is still losing strength. Momentum's coming down as the green does. Our VWAP wants to push in the bullish territory, but it's struggling to gain strength either way. Our money flow is overall starting to come out, so I would exercise caution as that could signal we could see this pattern play out. Over on the 4 hour, we have manipulation X that could bring us down, so keep an eye on that. We had 2 green dots that wanted to bring us up, but they did not bring us up. Stochastic is starting to push lower, RSI wants to curl up, momentum is coming down, our money flow is breaking into the bearish territory, and our VWAP is in the bearish territory. It's trying to get a little bit of a bounce here, but if it maintains this bearish zone, it could drag everything else lower. Over on the 2 hour, we got a little bit of a gap, so we are filling that gap. So we could get a push away from here now that we filled that gap. Our RSI is starting to push away, stochastic's starting to fall. It does have a little bit of a bullish cross that could try to push up, but it doesn't look too strong currently, so don't bet too much on that. Money flow is in the bearish territory here. We did try to go bullish, but we didn't get very much strength either time. Momentum wants to come up with a green dot, but if that VWAP rejects away from this bullish territory, then we could see that green dot get invalidated. Our VWAP is breaking in the bullish territory, but not very strongly currently, so keep an eye on that. Over on the 1 hour, our RSI is overall sliding, stochastic's trying to push up, VWAP is starting to get a bit of a cool down, and our money flow is starting to reject pretty sharply away from that neutral. Our momentum is starting to get a curl as our VWAP's losing strength, so overall everything's looking like we are in danger of pushing back down. If we did get another push up, it might be to this 2.5 zone, as we have a slight gap there, but after that we may get a drop back down. Over on XRP for the daily, we're still bouncing within this pattern, not really going far. If we keep staying down here, we might make more of a descending triangle here that could break us lower, so keep that in mind. Stochastic is starting to fall, momentum's coming down, it wants to get a bit of a round, but our VWAP's not managing to break through that neutral, so if that VWAP rejects away, then momentum's likely to fall lower. Money flow is still coming out, our stochastic's crashing, but our RSI wants to maintain bullish strength. The stochastic did just dip into the bearish territory, so if that continues, then the RSI is likely to start to weaken. Over on the 4 hour, we have a little bit of a reversal arrow that wants to signal that we could get a bounce. We were coming down and then we went sideways, so that wants to say we could go up. Stochastic is starting to reject away, is overbought right now too. RSI is starting to push away, momentum's coming down with a red dot, VWAP's in the bearish territory, and our money flow is breaking away from that neutral and is in the bearish territory. So overall, everything's a little more bearish leaning than bullish, so I wouldn't bet too much on that reversal playing too bullishly. We do have a green dot that brought us slightly up, but not too much, so it could be played out. Stochastic is pushing down, momentum starting to come down with the red dot, and our VWAP is pushing in the bearish territory, but it does want to get a little bit of a recovery into the support resistance area. So if it can break through this, then we could get a little bit of a push, but if it rejects away, we could see further downside. Money flow is in the bearish territory. It did try to break through that neutral, but kind of rounded away from it. As that VWAP curls up, it may try to retest again, at which point we could flip bullish. If we maintain, then we could see some upside. Over on the 1 hour, we do have a slight up channel, so that's a little weary because up channels are descending patterns. RSI is starting to slide, stochastic's in the bearish territory, has a bullish cross but starting to round. Money flow is in the bullish territory, but slightly getting lower highs and pushing lower, so watch out for that. Our VWAP is in the bearish territory and starting to round away. and our momentum is pushing away from the bearish territory, so overall we are a little more bearish leaning here on the 1 hour too. Finally, for algo on the daily, we are getting a little bit of a test of our value area low, still within this channel, this down channel. So if we push down, don't be too alarmed, as we could come back up. Stochastic is pushing down, money flow is rejecting away, VWAP is starting to push away, RSI is curling away, momentum's trying to curl up, but if that VWAP continues downward, then that momentum wave's not going to get any kind of green dot. Over on the 4 hour, we have a manipulation X that wants to bring us down again, right as we hit that resistance. Stochastic is coming down, RSI wants to curl though, momentum is coming out with a red dot, VWAP is in the bearish territory and heading lower, and our money flow is pushing lower as well in the bearish territory. Over on the 2 hour, Stochastic is getting kind of close to trying to make a bullish cross, so we'll have to see if that can carry some weight, as that could try to push us through that resistance. Our RSI is kind of flat here, so we're not gaining too much strength. Our momentum is in the bearish territory as our VWAP has broken bearish, but our VWAP is trying to come back up, so keep an eye on that. If it flips bullish, then our momentum could come back up. Money flow is getting lower lows and pushing in the bearish territory, but it's gone pretty flat, so it could try to curl back up here. And finally, on the 1 hour, RSI is starting to kind of taper off, Stochastic's trying to run up. Our money flow is maintaining bearish territory, it's kind of rejecting away from that neutral, so if it pushes away here, we could see some further downside. VWAP is also starting to kind of curl out, so that could bring our momentum away from the green dot that wants to curl up, and could bring us lower, so I would keep an eye on the next few candles. Thank you for watching tonight's video, I hope you have a wonderful night.